Welcome to Beyond the Spot. I'm Melissa Thornley, and I'm excited to have with us today Shirley Portee, executive producer at Burrell. Hi, Shirley.
Hey, Melissa.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you some questions that I don't even know, even though I've known you for a long time. How did you get started in this business? Did you always know you wanted to go into advertising?
No, I had no clue of advertising as a business. I knew what it was as far as commercials were on TV. And coming out of college, like most college students, the first thing you do is pick up, at that time, the paper, and you start looking for a job. Came across an ad for a receptionist at a company by the name of Lee King and Partners. And so I went and I go to Human Resources, and she goes, well, why would you like to work at Lee King and Partners? I'm like, oh, I would love to work at a law firm. She's like, sorry, dear, we're an ad agency. And I was like, oh my God. And my line was, you know what, that fits me a lot better. That's more my personality.
So how did you rise up the ranks? Like, how did you grow your career?
Started doing everything. I mean, it was in a time where pre-pro books were done by the agencies. You would sit there and you would honestly have to type them, take them to the copy machine and copy them and put them together, put them in a package, send them out for the producer to have it. I was on the phone. I would work until 8, 9 o'clock at night. I was young. I didn't have a family. So I did it. And from there, I went to a business person, I went traffic business, assistant producer, you know, taking on little projects that people didn't want to do. You know, little sales films, birthdays and stuff like that. And then one day they said, you know what? It's time for you to go out on your own. And I was like, oh my God, what do you mean, go out on your own? You're going to send me out? It's like, yeah, you're going to LA. Ah. And I went.
Were you like, ta-da?
No, I was more like, oh my God, this is crazy.
So what was the first big problem you had to solve? Like, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. What am I going to do?
My very first job, we were in LA and the Santa Ana winds came up and we were supposed to be out in the desert and you couldn't go because the sands were swimming around and everything was swirling. Had to figure out how to get a stage like that day and a backdrop to make it look like you were in a clear blue sky with a girl with her hair flowing and the fabric and yada yada. Yeah, that was on my first job.
That was your first job?
That was my first job. My very first one.
So what would you say was like the lesson out of that one?
Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat it. It comes together. It really does.
Dealing with clients and dealing with creatives and dealing with vendors, are there nuances to it? Like, how do you wrangle it all?
There are no nuances. The nuance is you hold true to yourself. Mm-hmm. You hold true to your honesty. You hold true to your core values. You respect each individual. You respect them as a person. You respect them as their title and their position in which they hold in a project. And you just work with that and you deal with them as human beings. I don't run from people. I don't really shy away. I don't hide. I just step forward and say what has to be said. That's.
So who taught you how to do that?
My grandma. My grandma. Yeah.
So what would your grandma say about what you do and how you do it?
Oh, my grandmother loved what I did before she passed because every time I went somewhere, I sent her a postcard. And she would always say, that's my baby right there.
So what are some of Grandma's laws?
Oh, always be true. Never lie. Lying doesn't do anything, and plus when you get older, you can't remember it, so why even lie? When somebody says, did you say that? And you know that you don't lie about things, you just say, yeah, I did, but I just can't remember.
You know, we all make mistakes. We all know that we make mistakes. So what do you think is a key to like picking yourself up off the floor and like dusting yourself off and just moving on with it? What's the key to doing that?
For me, it's I am very a faith-based person, and came to it and really just grabbed hold to my faith and walked that. And so, stumbling, yes, I'm gonna stumble, but I have a phrase. This business, I love it. I adore it. I have a good time. I, sent my kid to college, the whole nine. This is what I do. It is not who I am. And as long as I remain true to who I am, this is okay.
Do you have any types of projects that you like more than others? Like, do you like radio more than TV? Do you like web? Like what, like, or is it all kind of?
All of it, all of it. Because the part that I love about the job really is the whole bidding, haggling, meeting people, getting it done on paper so that we can get to the point that we can shoot it. We're just dancing, and that's what I call it, because it is a dance. It's, you know, it's like, okay, who's leading now? Okay, you touched my arm on the right. Am I supposed to move to the left, or did you want me to spin? So
I like that, looking at production as a dance. If you had somebody sitting in front of you they're about to graduate from Columbia, they want to go into advertising, what would you tell them?
Advertising. You want to be in it? One, be true to who you are, what your parents taught you. Have a thick skin, and be willing to do anything when someone asks you to do it.
I always ask these 3 questions at the end, and I'm wondering, where do you come from?
I was born in Durham, North Carolina. I grew up here in the south side of Chicago, and I am a combination of a south side, Southern Belle kind of thing.
South Side Southern Belle.
Yes.
I like that.
Tough as nails, but very sweet, and get more with honey than anything else. Yeah.
And where are you going?
Where am I going? Oh, I'm going to travel. I am going to travel. I'm on a nonprofit board, so that will take most of my time. And I can't wait to be able to donate and give my time to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what keeps you going?
What keeps me going? Okay, this is really gonna sound corny.
Bring it. I love corn.
It is corny. Faith, love, and family. Those are the things that keep me going. My faith just holds me up. My family would die for any of them, as crazy as they may be. Love for my kids, my husband, and just love in general. I mean, the world. So that's what keeps me going, those 3.
Yeah, it does kind of ooze off you, that love.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
oozes.
kind of sappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
spending
Melissa,
time
thank you.
with us.
I don't believe I did this. Thank you, though.
I love that. I love spending the time with you on Beyond the Spot. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.